And I'm surprised they actually showed footage when they were in Japan when he got caught for the marijuana.
Oh yeah, yeah. I remember reading
Well,
about
it
that.
was part of his life, so it
Yeah.
was in
Man,
there.
there was a huge bag of the stuff that they
Oh
found
yeah.
in the suitcase.
Hmm.
Mhm.
But then in the end, they didn't take him to court or anything. They just deported him,
Yeah.
and that there from there that was the end of Wings.
Yeah. That
They
was
didn't
it.
soar anymore.
Hmm.
Yeah, so they could do a part two
Wow.
after that, after Wings goes, and start with McCartney 2 and
It,
go from there
it
if they want to.
That's not really the end of Wings. I mean, everybody makes it out like it is, but it really isn't. I mean, they worked on Tug of War in the early stages, and then
Oh yeah.
Oh, sure
Yeah.
they
When
did.
Denny
it
Yeah,
just
Ryan
yeah.
didn't.
actually
It
left.
didn't. It fizzled out. Wings didn't just come to an end. It fizzled out until
Hmm.
it just was no
But
more.
what? No, wasn't that just Denny that was involved?
No, I don't think
I
so.
don't,
I think the whole band was there at the beginning, and one by one, it just kind of went.
Hmm.
And I mean, McCartney has said that maybe even unconsciously he threw the bag of pot in because he didn't want to do the tour. He didn't think the band was rehearsed enough, and he wasn't prepared enough, and so he thought maybe subconsciously he wanted to get busted so he didn't have to do the tour. That he has said that. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But he has said that maybe it was a subconscious thing that he did.
It's just a
Yeah.
rumor.
So
Just a rumor.
Yes. So
well, when he was applying for the work visa or whatever the whatever was needed in order to go there for the tour, there was a statement saying it's illegal to bring any illegal drugs into the country, and you cannot bring anything in with you. Do you agree? And
Yeah.
Paul checked off, yes, I agree.
Yeah.
and then
yeah,
And
of
there
course,
it is.
oops.
Hmm.
of course he
Mm.
did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
well,
It's
And
a
always
mistake
had
made.
And what I didn't like in the film was this whole idea of bringing up the idea that, oh well, he was never really arrested because he never really entered into Japan.
It was in his
He was-
suitcase.
Well, that's true.
Yeah,
That is
Yeah.
true. That's the technicality they got him out on. Is he
Yeah.
never really entered
Yeah,
Japan
yeah.
officially?
Yeah, but-
therefore,
the thing is,
Oh, he
Paul
was not
Paul
released
Paul
because-
was in a family of lawyers. I think
yeah.
a week later, when they said to him, "Oh, you were never officially in the country, so you can go home,"
deported.
I think he would have said to his lawyer then, "What? Why didn't you know this? Why did it take you a week to find out that I was never technically in the country and I technically didn't commit a crime?"
Hmm.
While that happened, there was a week of negotiations because Japan didn't really want to prosecute him because their people wouldn't have been happy about it.
Yeah.
I mean,
dare
thousands
you?
upon thousands of people wanted to see him play, and they didn't want to see their star. So it was just this whole compromise situation. And finally
Because if
somebody realized, he never really entered the country. Hey, that's an idea, and it was just a big compromise to get him out of there so that everybody could say, because the Japanese are all about saving face. So how do we save face in this situation? Well, that's how you save face.
Because if Paul knew this the day they locked him up,
Mhm.
then it was a big con to say, oh, he was talking to Linda about moving to Japan for the next 7 years so they could visit him on a regular basis.
Well, See, he didn't think of it. Nobody thought of it again. And Japan government's like our government, like any government. You know, the police do what they do, the politicians do what they do, everybody
Right.
in between does what they do, and they're not anybody doing the same thing. So the police are gonna be like, "Oh, we get to arrest Paul McCartney," blah, blah, and the government's like, "Oh, well, that's the last thing we want," you know. And then okay, now here we go, you know, and now everybody negotiates, and this is, you know, that's what happens. That's why it took a week, because there were a lot of people involved in getting them out of there.
Just give him his guitar and a jail cell. He'll be happy. He'll write a few songs while he's in jail, and
Guitar,
he
yeah.
can go
Call it the prison album or something.
like Johnny Cash.
Him and,
Yeah.
and it,
Well, he
strumming
never
the guitar.
did write a song about it. Denny did. He never did.
Oh yeah, then he did. Yeah.
But Denny did.